Hey, what's up guys? Autofanatic. So a lot of you guys asked me to do this video for the past 2 years that I've been on YouTube of how do you get smells and stuff out of the interior of your car. Well, now is the perfect time because the Autofanatic GT350 is being sold, and this is just one of the steps that I do every time I sell a car. So I'm going to walk you through every single step. I'm going to show you what I'm going to use. I've been using this stuff well over 10 years, and I think this is going to solve most of your problems. So let's get started right now. All right, guys, first order of business, you're going to want to remove everything out of the car. Everything that you got laying around in the trunk. See, I got blankets back here, so we're going to get that out of here. Now, this car has fold-down seats. So what we're going to do, we're going to just crack both seats open. We're not going to fold them down. We're just going to crack them open right now. Okay, so we want the seats just popped open. We don't want them completely folded down. You don't have to, because this process is going to work regardless. Now, you can see there's some lint and some little dust in here. So the next step, I don't have floor mats in the rear of the car, so we're going to go in the front of the car. Now, these are the original floor mats, and these are going to go in the trash. Leave it there, because that's not going to go back in the car. So I got my little portable Milwaukee vac. This is great with a little wedge attachment. Okay, so step one, clean out your vehicle. Step two, vacuum the vehicle. Step three, which I'm going to do now, I'm going to give all the Alcantara seating surfaces and the console a little bit of a wipe with a damp microfiber towel and some very, very mild cleaner. And I want to let that clean anything off the surface, and I want to let it dry before we go to the next step. So let's go do that right now. In this particular case, I'm going to be using the Sonax Alcantara fabric upholstery cleaner. So in this case, I'm not going to go crazy, so I tend to put just enough product on a cheap microfiber towel, just so it's like damp, not overly saturated, and then I'll fold it, and I'm just gonna go across all the surfaces. And if there is dirt, in this case there's most likely not, but I suggest you do this now. The reason I tell you to do this now is because this product has a scent. It has a cleaner scent to it, and that's what we don't want to deal with when we're going to be deodorizing the interior of the car. We don't want to have things fighting each other during the process. Okay, so this seat's done. We'll do the steering wheel. Just give it a once over. And the Sonax Alcantara cleaner works pretty well, and it doesn't dry out the material. The whole trick is don't use too much of it, and apply it to a microfiber towel. Don't apply it directly to the surface. That's going to start to dry things out, and it's going to get a little tacky. Okay, almost done. Let's move over to the passenger side front seat. We're going to let this air out for about 30 minutes. We're going to come back, and we're going to go to the next. So another thing you've got to do is if your car is dusty or dirty, you want to get it cleaned off right now. So I'm just using some Autofanatic 007 Gloss Enhancer, very, very diluted, with a little water on this towel just to get all the dust off. The car's not dirty, but we want to do that. We don't want anything blowing around while we're still deodorizing the car. Now, one of the most important steps, if you want to get the scent out of your car and you want to keep it out of your car, you got to change the HVAC air filter. That's on this particular car, it's underneath the glove box. On most cars, it's behind the glove box or under the glove box. So let me just show you real quick what I'm talking about. All right, guys, we're under the dash, and on this particular car, and this little cap comes out and the filter slides right out. So I'm going to pull it out for you just to show you, and then I'm going to replace it with a brand new filter that I just got. So there is the cabin filter right there. So I'm going to go over to my cabinet. I'm going to grab a new one out of the box, and we're going to reinstall it, and then we're going to move over to the next stages of deodorizing the GT350. We changed the air filter underneath the dash. Next step, this is my product of choice. I've been using this stuff for well over 10 years. This was as seen on TV a long time ago. Billy Mays, who was the famous pitchman, used to promote this stuff, and I swear by it. It doesn't have any funky fragrances. That's what you don't want. You don't want a product that has a scent or a fragrance that's really going to kind of tackle the odors you're trying to get with. So quick mist, that's it. Don't forget the trunk. Passenger seat, and that's it. So we just sprayed a liquid onto the upholstery and everything. So we're going to wait about 30 to 40 minutes. We're going to leave the doors and everything open. We want all of this to dry in the meantime. Now, another good thing to do is, if your car is old, would be to get some good swabs, maybe with an IPA solution, and clean out your AC vents. That's definitely good as well. But right now I could see a huge difference just by the couple of sprays of this freaking product. And I thought this company went out of business years ago, but for some reason it's now sold on Amazon. So you've got to check this stuff out, and I will link this in the description of this video. If you haven't tried it or never heard of it, trust me, this stuff freaking works. And then we're going to come back, we're going to do the final steps of the deodorization process of the GT350. Ozone generator. If you guys have definitely seen this before on other channels, I've learned about this well over 20-something years ago when I had my detailing business in the early 90s. Now, what this does, this generates ozone. It actually reacts with the molecules and everything of the smells, whether it's bacteria, mold, food smells, and whatever is in the car, and it kind of like totally just destroys it. Now, do not sit in the car while this is on. Now, being that my car doesn't smell bad at all, you start at 30-minute increments, and you could go up to 3 hours, but do not start at 3 hours unless the car is really bad or if it's a smoker's car. Now, I like to put the ozone generator a little bit higher up in the interior. Some people like to put it on the floor. I have a piece of ABS plastic right here, and we're going to just rest it on the center console. We're going to set the timer. We're going to close the doors. You have to close all doors, and I'm going to leave the trunk closed but not locked, FYI. So remember, we got the seats popped, so they're not locked, and we're going to have the trunk popped and not locked as well. So let's get it plugged in right now and get it set up. Make sure you have your extension cord long enough, and you're going to want to use a thin gauge extension cord because you're going to have to shut the door while you do this. If you use a very fat extension cord, it's probably going to break the weather stripping on the bottom of the door. So we got it set up. I have a piece of ABS plastic just as a platform. You could put a towel, but I like to use something rigid on something like this. Pretty much just going to turn the knob. 30 minutes. That's it. We're going to close the door, and we're going to come back. The trunk is closed, but it's not latched. That's what we want. We want to actually have the ozone completely circulate throughout the entire cabin of the car, including the trunk. So we're going to come back in 30 minutes. All right, guys, you can see here, that's the extension cord. Safely close the door. You could actually start smelling it, believe it or not. The ozone generator gives off a very, very similar smell. It smells exactly, if any of you guys out there weld or do stainless steel work, it smells exactly like TIG welding, stainless 304 with straight argon. It gives off the identical scent. So don't be alarmed when you smell it. Nothing's burning, nothing's on fire. That's just the ozone generator working inside the cabin of the car. So like I mentioned, we got the trunk popped, we got the seats not fully latched, the interior cabin was fully cleaned. We're giving this 30 minutes. We're going to come back when it's done. We're going to open up the door, and then we're going to go to the final steps, and then we're... All right, guys, so the 30 minutes is up. The ozone generator turned itself off by the LED on the front panel. FYI, it smells like I just welded about 30 feet of stainless steel in here. That's the exact same smell. It's got a very metallic-y taste in your mouth if you inhale it quite a bit. But this can affect your respiratory system. That's why they tell you use in unoccupied space only. So I'm going to remove the ozone generator. We're going to open up the trunk. We're going to open up the doors. We're going to let the car air out for about 2 full hours. Okay, that's what I recommend doing. Do it on a nice day. On a hot, humid day, I do not recommend doing any of this at all. Save yourself time to do it on a nice, cool day. If there's a little bit of a breeze, you're going to be ahead of the game. So we're just going to pull the ozone generator out from the cabin. Disconnect it. I'm going to just clean up, put stuff away, and we're just going to get this car aired out. Alright guys, so the GT350 has been airing out for a few hours, the last and final step. And I recommend this to anybody. I don't care how well you think you shampooed your mats. As soon as you saturate the carpet with the glue and the backing, it's going to smell and cause issues. Replace the mats. Mats are cheap. It'll add a new lease on life of your interior. These are brand new Shelby mats that I had in the box for the last 2 years. I didn't even know I had them, so now is the time to put them in the car. So the new owner that gets this car is going to have a fresh and perfectly clean GT350. So let's get those mats installed. So there we go, last final step. We got the brand new set of floor mats in the car. Let me just get in here and I'll talk to you guys and we'll wrap this video up. So I definitely suggest doing this possibly on a Sunday or on a weekend when you have nothing else to do. So it's going to take you a couple of hours. But I walk you through the steps. First order of business, like I showed you. Clear out all the junk from the car. Vacuum your seats and your carpets. You're going to want to clean any of the hard surfaces, whether you got leather, the top of your dash, the doors. You want to dust it all out, get it all clean. I used Sonax Alcantara upholstery cleaner. You could use whatever you want. Let that air out for at least a half hour. You don't want to get any of that fragrance and scents kind of trapped into the car while you're trying to, knock all the scents and smells out of the car. Next order of business, you're going to want to remove the cabin filter. Regardless of how much of a pain in the ass it is, you have to change that out and you have to clean out the cavity. I change mine every 3 months. That's just my craziness, but every 3 months I change my cabin filter. Now, after you do the cabin filter, spray the car with the What Odor. I swear by that product. I'm telling you it works. It doesn't smell nasty. It doesn't smell like, pine sol or lemon or any of that stuff. It just has a very neutral odor. It's all natural ingredients. Totally safe. It's not going to harm you. Then after you spray the car with the What Odor, let it air out again. Pop the back seats. If your car has fold down back seats, pop the trunk. You want to leave that open. Set up the ozone generator like I did on the center console. Start out with 30-minute increments. If you're a smoker or you're trying to clean a smoker's car or a car that has children, food spills, and pets, you're probably going to want to start with an hour and then go up from there. You're going to have to pretty much put the ozone generator on. Don't sit in the car while you do it. Make sure you can close the door with the extension cord. And come back in, and don't be alarmed by the metallic-y smell and the odor that you're gonna be coming back into the cabin. That's just the process of it working. So you're going to want to air the cabin of the car out. Give it a few hours. Completely leave the car open on a nice day. Give it a few hours. After you're done with that, crack the windows if you can and leave the car in the garage overnight. When you get in the car the next day, it's going to 100% smell like a new car. Also, the brand new floor mats, that is a must. You got to do the floor mats. So the things you got to do, air filter for the cabin, new set of floor mats, no exception. Don't skimp on that at all. This is the process that's been working for me. The ozone generator, we've been using that forever. And we used to also, back in the days, guys were showing me you put like some fragrances and stuff, but I don't do that anymore. I like to just eliminate all fragrances. I don't want to use air fresheners. They tend to just get the cabin of the car a little funky over time, and it just starts to get a little weird smell that permeates into the cabin. So you want to knock everything out, kill everything, deodorize it, neutralize it, and now you're back into the cabin of a fresh car. So whoever gets this car, my GT350, is going to be, rest assured that not only is it meticulously maintained, it smells like a new car and does not smell like a used car. So hope you guys like this video. Like I said, maybe my process is a little excessive, a little bit too time consuming. I'm just showing you guys how I do it. And I know and have proven this works for almost every car that I've ever detailed and worked on and owned in my life. So see you guys soon. Please set your notifications for the next Auto Fanatic video and stay tuned to the channel for more automotive content, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And when the new GT350R shows up, we're going to start some new content and a bunch of modifications, detailing. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of cool stuff on that. So set your subscribe button and see you guys on the next video.